Okay, recording.
Okay, this is the Gardner Board of Health meeting. It's Monday, February 26, 2024, in the Mayor's Conference Room, and the start of the meeting is 4:36 p.m. This meeting is called to order. The first item on the agenda is approved minutes from December 4th, 2023, and January 22nd of 2024. So the first one is minutes from December 4th, 2023.
Yeah, so again, we're gonna put
Right.
that one forward.
That one is going to go because we don't have a quorum to pass that. The minutes from January 22nd, 2024. I think we can take care of that.
Make the motion to approve them.
Okay, and I second it. All those, any discussion on the minutes? Yeah, I thought they looked good too. Everyone in favor? Aye. Aye. So the minutes of January 22nd, 2024 are approved. So, do you want me to sign these? You want my copy?
Yeah, if you can,
Okay.
if you can still sign that copy, that'd be great.
Okay, next item on the agenda is old business.
Don't have a lot of old business. I did try to reach out to the Westminster Health Departments regarding the also housing the migrants.
Right.
And I left that message after we spoke last
Okay.
week. I
Okay.
haven't heard anything back yet,
Okay.
so I'll keep trying. I haven't had much communication with the mock coordinator either,
Okay.
but I'll definitely keep reaching out.
Right, so MPHN Victoria, I don't remember her last name right now.
Setzer?
So, yes,
Yeah.
so she's the epidemiologist, and she had already, the state had reached out to her regarding getting vaccination clinics set up for the children, for the sheltering units in Westminster and Gardner. So she went in, they did go into Westminster, and what they were able to do was identify how many children needed what. They worked with the schools and the Board of Health, and then not only did they get vaccinations set up in the clinic, but they also were able to set up with primary care physicians in Fitchburg. She thought it was Fitchburg Family Practice, but I did find out that CHC is located at Burbank, right at the same place that Fitchburg Family Practice is. So it looks like it's family practice, but it's actually CHC. But there's physicians there that speak Haitian and Spanish and that. So I was on a call with Becky from the school nurse leader, the state vaccination clinic department representative, and Victoria, and that's what we're trying. We're doing the same thing in Gardner shelter, and trying to reach out with getting, even though Mark oversees everything at the shelter, at least we have contact, trying to get some regular communication as to what's going on. There was a TB case there, but it was not a contagious TB case. It was a latent TB case where it was in, the person just got sick and so it came out, but it wasn't something that was contagious. But so that, is ongoing. So we'll continue to try to get some. We just want to make sure, there's anything else we can do. Because I did ask Victoria to make sure with the physicians, the primary care, that she checked with CHC and Hayward to see if they have any openings, but obviously trying to find somebody that can speak their language. And I did find out that through a contact that it probably was CHC anyway, because they do have, that's where a lot of them have been going, because they have people that speak the native language. So anyway, that's that. Then new business?
Okay, so new business, just wanted to mention that we got public information requests regarding PFAS testing in the landfill leachate water. We don't currently do that because it's not a legal requirement for the landfill. And they did request all water testing results, which I sent to them, along with the Mass General law that cites what chemicals you are required to test for. I am not entirely sure, but I think they are testing for PFAS in the wastewater treatment plants, and then possibly over at the sludge landfill, so.
Yeah, it's something, I mean, I know there's I was telling you earlier, there's I forwarded the MAHB, they have an item on there about PFAS. I know a lot of people are talking about it. And the contamination in Westminster was from the wells that got contaminated with PFAS was from external source. It was some fertilizer, I believe, that was contaminated and put down near wells, and it got into the groundwater, which went into the wells. But there's no known contamination of PFAS that I'm aware of in the community. But it's something that I think the
Could
state.
you forward that to me again? I'm not sure if I remember.
The MAHB?
Yeah.
I will. I did it today.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see it.
Okay.
Earlier, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll forward it to you
Okay.
again. But I know that everybody is looking at it, like, some states in California and stuff, California, they list everything. If you're, I always think about, I bought a vinyl shower curtain once, the label said, this does not meet California requirements for PFAS. So it's something that we will be hearing more and more about, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for the state to
Right.
come up on their regulations, and we'll do whatever it is they ask us to do. So, for outreach, we're working on planning for the wellness fair on April 17th. So we're getting that all ready. I think this week Veronica had some Escape the Vape events happening for the kids at high school. And that's pretty much I have for outreach.
The health fair is April 17th, I think.
Yes, yeah,
And it's 4:30 or 5 to 7
5 to 7.
in Gardner City Hall.
Right
So,
on here,
yeah.
The transfer station, we got the annual report was sent to Mass DEP. They came back with a few concerns, which would be, we have 2 groundwater monitoring wells that have been broken since 2017 or somewhere in there. And they're really wanting to see get those fixed, so going to be working on that. And then we have more erosion on used to be the south side of the landfill. We can't really see back there unless you climb over the top of the hill.
Beyond so when you come into the transfer station, towards the left and up.
Yeah, up over the top, down the other side. And then the last concern was that the lab testing for a chemical called 1,4-dioxane, the lab was not testing it at the proper lower recordable limit. So our environmental consultants have reached out to the lab on that, and we'll be changing that immediately for the next tests. So rough estimates would be around $5,000 to repair the groundwater watering wells, and then somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000 for erosion control projects.
Do we have that budgeted in a line item, or is there some way to move it around, or do we have to ask for?
That's kind of part of my other new business, is I did submit a budget for FY25 last week.
Okay.
And there were 3 different budgets, like our requests, the mayor wants to ask for an and one where everything is cut across the board. So I did put that along with trying to get some money to make improvements at the transfer station in that request. And we'll be meeting with the mayor in the next little bit to go over that and see how much we can do there. So, but the repairs need to be done. So we're gonna start getting actual quotes and everything else now that it's starting to warm up a little bit. Next new business would be the housing inspector that we hired is no longer working here. So we have that position vacant. My plan is to leave it vacant until after the unionizing negotiations happen. So
I didn't know what was going on with that.
building inspectors and our inspectors are trying to unionize.
Okay.
So they're in negotiations right now,
Okay.
which are tentatively set to be finished by the end of March. So see how that ends up and repost it. Angela's working on her Massachusetts housing training. It's called Mass Fit, PHIT, so that she can go out and do the housing inspections as well. Last week we met with Assistant Attorney General Janice Beatty regarding abandoned properties in town. And we did go look at 5 abandoned houses that I had picked out for us to do an inspection on. So they're gonna evaluate those for their suitability to either put them into a receivership or get the property owner to come back into compliance, whatever works out. And as we identify more vacant houses, usually comes up with property complaints or other complaints that we get, we'll send those along to her.
Are these abandoned houses that, obviously you already have them identified, but that we've already tried to do something with and communicate with, and no communication from the landlords or the owners or all that? They're
Right.
completely,
Yeah. A lot of them already have open orders. A lot of the ones I showed her are really abandoned, so basically they're already marked as boarded and secured and no inhabitants. And I think they're looking for more of something that could actually be rehabbed into a usable piece of property. So once we better identify those, we'll send them along to her. They transferred from, it was just an abandoned housing initiative through them, to now they have their own departments where they can go out and address these better, I think, because they had so many requests from so many towns. So hopefully we'll get at least a few houses back on the market through that.
So do they take care of all the legal pieces of doing, like?
They do. We provide them with our order letters, any violations we have on the property, and then the rest kind of goes to the legal system. So, let's see. For food, we have the organization Growing Places. We're going to be starting up in the Waterford Street School. We have a tentative final inspection on Wednesday to try and get them open so they can start running test batches and figure out how things go. And then, my last update was that I submitted the budget, and the highlights would have been the money for the landfill and the transfer station improvements.
Last meeting, towards the end, you mentioned something about Harvey negotiations with looking at, what did you say? Either trying to get more people to use the pay-as-you-go bags rather than requesting extra totas if they have a lot of trash.
Yeah.
What, can you kind of clarify that piece? Because I know we've had some questions from a few people.
I think the biggest issue we've seen is that we've had complaints of Harvey dumping recycle bins that are full of trash. So the residents are throwing their trash in the recycle bin, and then Harvey is enabling that by just dumping it right into the trash truck. Anyway, so if we
With the recycled stuff?
taking a recycle bin that's been filled with trash or partly mixed together.
So they
dump
want
it.
more space, so they use the larger unit, which is for recycling,
Yeah,
and
so,
put trash in it.
yeah,
And
so-
Harvey's been complying with using that as a trash receptacle.
what they're supposed to do is tag it and mark it and not pick it up so that the resident knows they can't be doing that. So, been talking with them about our concerns there, and if I do get complaints, I will take a look, I'll write a order letter or send a notice to the property owner, and a lot of times that's been enough to fix the problem at specific individual houses, but we're, just want them to do more diligence when it comes to.
Okay. Well, you're not looking at changing any of the process of the trash collection right now. It'll stay with the large receptacle for recycling and the smaller one for trash, and the same pickup, recycling every 2 weeks, trash every week.
Yeah, trying to keep that all the same.
And the pay-as-you-go bags, the yellow bags, they can still be bought at Auction's.
Auction's, Price Chopper, the health department, and I can't remember.
Okay.
I think it's
So
more-
if they had more trash, that's what they should be doing, is buying the yellow bags and using that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned something about rates going up maybe, or it's
No,
not something that's a definite.
not yet. I still have to go over all that with the mayor, and I submitted my estimates for costs versus what we pay out versus what we get back in.
Okay.
I went over that with John Richard, and after a few years, if they stay the same, we'll be going into the red after, I think, 2 years. So without adjusting it either a lot right now or incrementally over the next couple of years, we'll be going into the negative if we don't do something.
Right. Okay.
We're working on figuring that out, and I'm gonna ask for $15 a quarter more, which would be kind of longer term ask as far as that goes, and then we'll see what actually is approved. So,
All right. Thank you for clarifying.
How far does that Harvey contract go at this point? Or-
it is set to, it was made for 3 years, so it's expiring in June of this year, but it is a provision in the contract that it automatically renews for another 2 years. So I think how that goes, that at least another 2 more years is how long the current contract lasts.
Unless there's something major that you would want to stop it at the end in June.
Yeah, which I don't want to rock the boat too much.
Right,
Since we
right.
just started with them, so I don't have any plans to.
For the most part, there's not been a lot of complaints with them other than something like that, or?
No, just the occasional missed pickup
Yeah.
or the occasional seeing them possibly dumping it on a container. But otherwise, we haven't had a whole lot of complaints, so,
That's good.
yeah. And that is all I have for today. Unless you have
Okay.
any more questions?
Anything else?
No.
No? Then we set the meeting, next meeting. Which is March. Any restrictions for you?
No, I don't think so.
Do you want to just do the 25th?
Sure.
Okay. favor?
Aye.
Motion, meeting is adjourned at 4:57.